I think I previously thought 30 gigawatts by 2030 was ambitious, but now what the Climate Change Committee are saying is that really we should be going much further, much faster, and they're talking about 75 gigawatts by 2050.
It's a big, big ambition for our industry, isn't it?
Now I'm talking in the terms of a paradigm shift in the way that we think about all forms of energy, in the way that we generate it, the way that we transport it, and the way that we consume it.
How do you think that would actually affect our grid?
In many different ways, from interconnection for balancing purposes. And that type of balancing will help us absorb all of these renewables onto the grid. 75 gigawatts sounds ambitious, but in reality what it means is 4 gigawatts per annum going onto the system. Do you think that we can continue in the way that we have been so far?
Not only talking about 2050, if we just talk about the near future in 10 years, by 2030, third of our electricity is going to come from offshore wind sector. It is going to be a massive change and impact on our grid. We need to be specifically moving away from the project to project planning process to a more integrated systems approach. New technologies and novel system upgradations would definitely help in short term.
I take your point there on a project by project basis that some sort of centralised planning might help. But centralised planning might stifle innovation. I'm sure you've got some ideas on how we might innovate in terms of integrating all of this renewable energy onto the system.
Yeah, I think for shorter term, to reduce and minimize the cost of upgradation, we might utilize energy storage and novel ancillary services to provide the demand and supply, balancing the grid. There is going to be a place for all types and sizes of energy storages. Each and every system would play a role in shorter term to be able to provide us that grid stability. So I think for the safer and faster deployment of renewable energy technologies, we could actually use grid simulations and grid fault testing. This could actually not only reduce the cost, but actually is much more safer way to de-risk new renewable energy technologies. And that's what we really need in the sector right now to be able to progress to a completely net zero economy. What do you think is going to be the next big thing for our sector, which is going to actually disrupt and actually accelerate the growth of our sector further?
Well, the really big thing, of course, is migration to a hydrogen economy. So now we need to look about how we can bring that energy ashore and through electrolysis create hydrogen. And that will allow us to do much more of this balancing of the system to meet our energy demands. Phenomenal opportunity, and not only from a technology perspective, but just think about the skills and the jobs that we can create in this conversion to this whole new economy. I think the UK has a tradition of innovating and being inventive. Our challenge is to create some sort of industrial wealth from that innovation and create thousands of jobs from the opportunity that exists.